She looked him in the eyes, lips parted. The word no was already forming, and then he said just one sentence. Her body shifted, her breath slowed, and she said, yes. It wasn't love. It wasn't fate. It was a tactic, a dark one used more often than you think. 93 of communication isn't what we say, it's how we say it. Voice tone, eye contact, pauses. These subtle cues influence choices more than reason ever could. She thought she was making a decision, but the truth is, her decision was being prepared for her. Ever said yes and later asked yourself, why did I go along with that? You weren't weak. You were being guided. In this story, I'll show you how dark persuasion works, step by step, so you can recognize it before it's used on you. They met at a quiet dinner party. She was confident, independent, guarded. He was soft-spoken, careful. Nothing about him seemed dangerous, but behind every nod, every smile, he was profiling her, her patterns, her fears, her emotional entry points. When she shared a childhood memory, he said, "That must have made you feel invisible." She froze. No one had ever said it that way. And just like that, she felt seen. But she wasn't. She was being mapped. And worse, he had used that exact phrase before on someone else, someone who had stopped talking to her family. He started with harmless questions. "Want to grab coffee sometime? Can I ask your opinion on something private?" Every yes she gave built momentum. It's called the yes ladder, a series of micro-commitments. Once you start saying yes, it becomes harder to say no. Each step felt like her decision, but he was laying the path. That one sentence he used in the beginning, it was this: "You don't have to say yes. Just imagine how good it would feel if you did." It wasn't a question. It was a suggestion that disarmed her. And it worked. But getting her to say yes wasn't enough. He needed her to feel like she wanted to. That's when he used emotional mirroring. He didn't copy her words, he matched her energy, her silences, her pain. When she opened up, he leaned in. When she laughed nervously, he smiled softly. It created a sense of emotional symmetry. She felt seen, safe, but it wasn't real. It was limbic resonance, a neurological effect that makes people feel connected, even to strangers. She began defending him, ignoring red flags. And when he finally said, "We'd be happier if we just lived together," she didn't question if, she just wondered when. He never asked, "Do you want to move in?" Instead, he asked, "Would you prefer something peaceful outside the city or a bright space downtown?" Both choices led to the same outcome. This is the decoy choice, an illusion of freedom. You think you're choosing, but the real choice was already made for you. And once you decide between two false options, your mind justifies it as your own. That's the danger. The cage is invisible because you built it. Weeks later, she sat on the balcony. Lease signed, new furniture arriving, and a quiet voice in her chest whispered, "This doesn't feel like mine," but she didn't know why. That's what makes dark persuasion so effective. It doesn't take your freedom. It redirects it. He didn't argue. He didn't demand. He let her feel safe, seen, and smart. And in that safety, her defenses dissolved. She thought she made a choice, but the moment had been engineered. Not all manipulation looks like pressure. Sometimes it looks like connection. So how do you protect yourself? Ask yourself, do I feel emotionally safe or emotionally managed? Are my choices real or curated? Is this trust earned or designed? Because when someone uses your mind against you, they won't take your freedom. They'll make you thank them for giving it away. Subscribe for weekly breakdowns of real-world manipulation tactics and how to defend your boundaries before someone crosses them. Your mind is powerful. Just make sure you're the one using it.